While a new study says 1 in 3 women diagnosed with breast cancer detected by a mammogram are treated unnecessarily. The study, based on Danish medical records, says the screenings led to so-called false positives in as many as a third of women who have tumors that seemed harmless, and the regular mammograms did not catch more advanced cancers. In an editorial accompanying the study, the American Cancer Society's chief medical officer, Dr. Otis Browley, says better tests are needed to differentiate between tumors and harmless growth. The American Cancer Society recommends that women get annual mammograms from age 45 to 54, followed by screenings every other year after that, while the American College of Radiology recommends annual mammograms beginning at 40. The study was published in the Annals of Internal Medicines. Now, 1 billion people worldwide are affected by cardiovascular disease. A U.S. task force and a large international study conclude that people who don't have the disease but are at risk of getting it could benefit from taking a daily pill. VOA's Carol Pearson has more.
More than 17 million people will die from diseases of the heart and blood vessels this year. Even more have these diseases, which are collectively called cardiovascular disease.
The risk factors for cardiovascular disease include high cholesterol, high blood pressure, smoking, diabetes, and your age.
Family history is also a factor. To combat the disease, many doctors recommend taking a daily cholesterol-lowering drug called a statin.
A statin is a drug that helps reduce the production of cholesterol in the liver. It primarily works by lowering the LDL cholesterol, which is the so-called bad cholesterol.
Owens works on the U.S. Preventative Task Force that continuously reviews information on a host of diseases. The task force now recommends that adults age 40 and older at risk for cardiovascular disease take a daily statin. The recommendations appear in the Journal of the American Medical Association. But it's not just Americans who can benefit from statins. An earlier study published in the New England Journal of Medicine showed that most people at risk for cardiovascular disease would be better off taking one. The study involved a racially diverse group of people on 6 continents living in 21 countries, and it included both men and women. All were at risk for developing cardiovascular disease. In a 5-year period, those taking a statin reduced the risk of heart attack, stroke, or heart-related deaths by 24%.
The benefits of statins are a reduction in heart attacks, strokes, and death. The harms of statins we judge based on our very comprehensive review of the literature to be small. And in patients who are at elevated risk for cardiovascular disease, the benefits outweigh the harms.
The researchers say this shows a very simple approach to treatment that can be provided around the world. Have older adults at risk of developing cardiovascular disease take a daily statin. Carol Pearson, VOA News, Washington.
Now, it is a testament to the danger of the problem that almost weekly there is news to report on the search for new antibiotics. Scientists around the world are working to find new drugs as bacteria continue to evolve ways to make the old ones obsolete. That race is leading some scientists to some strange, dirty, and even dangerous places as they search for new drugs. VOA's Kevin Enoch reports.
These Russian scientists are crawling through the dark on a mission to fight drug-resistant microbes.
We work both with Siberian and Baikal region caves because many of the caves in Baikal region are older than the Baikal Lake, over 30 million years old. Our research is dedicated to how the bacteria had formed and had been preserved for 30 to 40 million years and what they produce.
Why here? The researchers say this place is not just old, but also biologically unique, home to hundreds, maybe thousands of fish, bugs, and bacteria that can't be found anywhere else.
Baikal is a unique ecosystem which allows us to find plenty of unique organisms with unique characteristics which can be used to create new technologies or biomedical applications.
биомедицинского применения, технологического применения.
It's a throwback to the golden age of antibiotics, when scientists found effective antibacterial drugs like penicillin lurking in soil and mold. Microbes the researchers have found here are proving effective against resistant bacteria like Staphylococcus.
В настоящее время перед нами стоит задача
Now our goal is to enhance the number of antibiotics for practical use. We have a large collection, but we need to be very focused and not waste resources to bring a final antibiotic to an ultimate consumer.
уже разработанный антибиотик до конечного потребителя.
There's no timeline for when any drugs developed here will hit the market, but with resistance on the rise, even the potential for new drugs is cause for hope. Kevin Enochs, VOA News, Washington.
And that's our health report for today. To stay in touch, find me on Twitter at Linord Moudou. Back to you, Vincent.